Basic, and here's the Developer tab here, okay? And here's the thing. Here's the icon for Visual Basic, okay? And so here's what comes up. Okay? This, okay? So if all you knew, okay, was a textual editor like Notepad or something like that, because that's what everybody would do things in, or Microsoft Word, and you were writing. This is like, what the heck is this? Okay, but this is the way it works nowadays. Okay, so you guys are fortunate not to have been confused by the whole transition between the textual base and the graphical base. Okay, all right. So this is the properties thing. This is the Project Explorer, and we're going to get the other parts. We're going to get the other parts here in a minute. Okay, so now. All right, so the workspace, okay, is where you view code associated with forms and controls, and you can also view what are known as, you can also develop user forms that contain these things called controls. Controls are things like things that you can interact with. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a user form into the interface. Okay, so I'm going to go up here. Okay, remember this is the Project Explorer. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to say Insert User Form. Okay, and now, okay, this is the user form. Okay, and the toolbox has appeared. Okay, so here's the toolbox. So we have the properties thing. We have the form here. We have the toolbox here, which has controls in it, and then we have the project here, or the Explorer here. Okay. All right. So this is the user form. All right. So the Project Explorer, the thing that was on the right-hand side, contains a list of files used in the project, and you'll actually see the sheets, and you'll also see a thing called this workbook object. And so what's happened is we're going to use this thing to control how the program works when the workbook opens. Okay, and then there's the forms folder. This is where all the forms that you create, which are Windows. I guess it's a programming name for Windows. That's where they're going to appear. They're going to appear in that folder as well. Okay, so I guess yeah, this thing here. Okay. All right. Now. So the little thing on the left-hand side was the control toolbox, and so you can, if it disappears, you can always make it come back up by going to View and Toolbox, and it contains these things called controls. And so the controls are these objects on top of forms that you use to interface with the program. And so controls there are different types of controls, and controls, these objects, have different properties which only apply to them. Okay, so depending on what the control is, some will apply, some will not. When you have a property, the way it's referenced is by the name of the control. You actually name the control, and you separate, put a period there, and then you put the property in there, and that will show you, that'll enable you to manipulate the control. All right, so today we're going to be only using a couple of simple controls. We'll be doing a few other things, but we're going to be doing some simple controls. One is a label, and the other one is a thing called the command button. Although when we go through, we're going to be using many more. Controls. Okay, so
Professor,
yeah.
could you show us again how you got deviated from Excel? How you got from Excel?
Okay, I think I can. Okay, so here it is right here. Okay, I opened it up. I've already done this thing where I've set up the developer to make the developer appear. So I go to Developer, and then I go to Visual Basic. You gotta have it set up. If it doesn't appear, if the Developer tab doesn't appear there, then you've got to set up the Developer tab. Okay, so where was I? I've forgotten where I was at. Okay, next. All right, so the properties window. Okay, so the other thing that appears on the screen is the properties windows, and these are the parameters or the properties that are associated with a given control. So if you click on the control, the list of properties are going to change according to what the control is. So one of them is the label control, which is used to display text. It has a thing known as the caption property. So when the label is displayed, what is in the caption property is what's going to be displayed on the control section. Okay? There are some other controls that have, most of the controls do have some common properties. One is whether it's visible or not. Okay, so you can actually, depending upon what the circumstances are, you can actually make controls only appear when you want them to. And then most of them have a height. I think all of them have the height and the width, and there might be a couple of others. There might be a couple of other parameters that the controls all have. Some of the parameters have drop-down boxes that might be like a true or false type thing, or certain ways that it's presented. Depends upon what the control is, what the parameter is. And if you want to get to it, okay, you can use your right mouse click on it and select the control, and you can also, if you have the control highlighted, you can also press F4, and the box will come up. Okay, so this is the properties thing. Okay, so for the form, another one that they all have, I think they all have this is a name. You got to know what your name of your control is. So they all have names as well. Okay, so they have all these different things. All right, so let's talk about the label. Actually, let's go back. Let's step back a little bit. All right, so you do not want to default anything here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my form. Okay, this is a user form. Okay, and I'm going to change the name from user form to something that makes sense. Okay, and I need to name this mnemonically. So what I'm going to call this thing is I'm going to call it credits FRM. Okay, or I could spell out form, doesn't really matter. Okay, as long as you know what it is. Okay, so oh my goodness, I forgot. It's on my desk. Okay, here, I'll give you my keys. It's sitting on my desk. You think you'll be able to find it?
Yeah.
If anybody's been in my office, it's certainly not a trivial process.
I know it
Okay.
is.
Okay, so you've got so there's the letter, okay, the authorization letter, and the key. Okay, so if you take it over there, okay, they should be able to fix it in like 5 minutes, okay.